What is up, subscribers of Cashif? This is TehWileChase here, bringing you a guest narration for Cashif because he's too lazy to narrate his own videos, but not really. He asked for guest narration. I was like, I'll do it. So, got a UU match here, I believe. I think he said it was against Sophie, aka Complexy 990. Yes, it is. So, anyways, let's get into it. Sophie leads off with the Deoxys fence. Cashif leads off with a Suicune, which is like, that's a weird lead, but it could potentially work against Deoxys if he is a Crocoon, just because he can start Scalding, get some status on it, which may not be that favorable though, because Toxic might be better. And it looks like he might have Toxic somewhere on his team, so he should have gone with that. But it looks like Sophie's running a dual screening Deoxys, so that is going to do nothing. So Cashif is going to decide to switch out, thinking, okay, she'll just set up the next screen. I can get my rocks up with Donphan or something, so I might as well do that, because that seems like a good idea, right? Right? But Sophie's going to switch out to a Roserade, and I guess Cash decided to switch out to Zapdos on the double switch for some reason, I guess predicting Sophie to go out to something besides the Roserade to take on something. So Cash decided to sub up because he's probably a sub-toxic set, and then Thunderbolt, which really, I guess he was just trying to bait her to not go for the sleep powder again, but really staying in the Zapdos, it's not going to work out for him because he only has the Thunderbolt. As you can see, he would have gone for the Heat Wave otherwise, or even the HP Ice, but since he doesn't have it, he's just summing up so he can probably lure away the sleep powder or something, which seems like a good idea, but in the end, he's really just losing way too much health for it to be really worth it, because Sludge Bomb's breaking his subs, and it can probably do a lot more than what he's gaining, so he's gonna go out to his Glade now thinking, hey, I got some good bulk, I can take a hit, which he can take a hit, but he got poisoned, so now he's kind of fucked. But Sophie decides to switch out to Slowbro thinking, hey, in case for some reason he's scarfed or something, I don't want to take a hit, so might as well go out to Slowbro, and Cash double switches out to Roserade, which is perfect, so he can get something set up with his Roserade, which he decides, let's get spikes going. Deoxys comes in though, probably can't do anything because her set is probably dual screens, recover Toxic, but Cashif still decided to switch out for some reason, which really doesn't make that much sense, because it's like, okay, you're in a good position with your Roserade, but switch out to Zapdos, I guess, to stall it or something, or possibly predicting a switch out. That would actually probably be logical, predicting a switch out, but Sophie really had no reason to switch out because she had a perfect opportunity to get up screens, but now he decides to go to Suicune, I guess predicting again something else, but Miss Magius comes in and he's like, hey, let's set up on Miss Magius because we're probably going to have a Calm Mind War, which, yeah, again, seems logical, but, you know, Cashif always has a flaw in his ideas. That's just how Cashif is. He's weird. Anyways, I think that was just a nasty plot, or a Calm Mind, or that was probably a nasty plot. I'm pretty sure it was a nasty plot, and Cashif doesn't even break the sub after one boost, so that's kind of unfortunate. So he's like, alright, let's go out to Donphan, break the sub with my Ice Shard, and then we'll figure it out from there, because also he does have the Sturdy, and it looks like from him having no HP investment, actually, that he might be choiced. Actually, I don't think he's choiced, but he's probably going to have a lot of attack investment, meaning that another Ice Shard should do a lot to her, which, yeah, he's not choiced. I don't know why I thought he was choiced, but another Ice Shard should do a good amount, since he probably has a good attack investment, but it does absolutely nothing. So he's probably not going to be able to break the sub again with this Ice Shard, so he's going to be in a really, really bad situation, if you know what I mean. Then what is there to know? I mean, it's obvious he's going to be in a bad situation, but he actually breaks the sub again, so he's not in a bad situation, so now all he needs is something that can outspeed and take it out. But he doesn't really need anything to outspeed, he just needs to go late with the Shadow Sneak to just Shadow Sneak that Miss Magius in the face and kill it, which that is a good amount of damage because it killed. Machini comes in though. Cash wants to save Gallade for later. Might as well go out to Suicune to try and take the incoming possible V-Create. But Sophie figures he might want to switch, so might as well U-turn out in case, you know, he does something weird, which this wasn't weird. So Cashif, what you doing? I forgot to say that in the entire narration. I can't believe I forgot about that. But anyways, Roserade comes in. Cashif really has nothing to do. He could try and switch out, but he could be in a less than favorable position, so he might as well just leave Suicune to die, even though it will come back to bite him in the ass later. He probably should have saved Suicune instead of predicting or thinking, hey, I won't need it. But he's going to go out to Roserade now, who the thingy was at -2. The opposing Roserade is at -2, so he can easily try and set up a layer of spikes. but Victini's going to come back in. But Kashif does have this Hitmontop, which can take a hit because of the Intimidate. So V-Create happens, and it does actually a sizable amount, but it will not be a 3KO, and Sophie really can't stay in because there is a chance of a Sucker Punch, a Stone Edge, a Pursuit. Then again, Pursuit, why would you switch out? But the first two are highly plausible because Kashif actually has a Stone Edge, but it misses against Donphan. Not too huge of a deal though, because Donphan can't really damage Hitmontop anyways. Plus the fact that Kashif has the Toxic, so he can at least do that on Donphan and then prepare for something later. But Sophie goes Rapid Spin, get those spikes away because those are hurting the Victini a lot, and that's the main thing that'll hinder Victini's usefulness. So might as well get rid of those as quick as possible. Zapdos comes back in though, which right on the Stealth Rocks too, but I guess Kashif was just getting to another mindset of stalling that, or for some reason predicting a switch, but Sophie had no reason to predict. But he's getting a double switch, not double switch, but he switches back out to Hitmontop, thinking, alright, let's go for the Intimidate. But Sophie double switches out to Deoxys, which, you know, that can do some stuff. But this is kind of a weird move here, because Kashif decides to stay in, and Deoxys Toxic is the Hitmontop, which will really limit the Hitmontop a lot. Now he won't be able to do as much. Then again, without the Sucker Punch, it's not really too much of a use for Victini, so he might as well use his Hitmontop to quick spin and then do some other shenanigans. But now he's going to go back into Roserade like he should have done, try and get more spikes up, especially since now Donphan won't want to switch in on this thing, so he's going to put a little bit of pressure on Sophie. But now he's like, hey, let's predict the Victini again, because I seem like a smart fellow. But Sophie again decides to stay in, not really fearing the spikes, and is all like, I'm going to set up some screens, because those are more important than your fucking spikes, because then if she has the screens, she really has nothing to worry about from those spikes. So, another double switch happens, Roserade comes out again, Slowbro comes out this time, and Kashif decides, hey, I'm going to predict a switching over Leech Seed. Sophie predicts an attack and goes for Slack Off, and, you know, that all happens. Hitmontop comes back in though, predicting, probably Victini again, but Slowbro's all like, I'm just going to keep slacking off because I'm being weird. And, yeah, just Hitmontop's in here for no reason, except for getting some Leech Seed recovery, which actually does help out a lot. But still, whatever. Stone Edge, though, because Kashif is just like, I'm going to sack Hitmontop for no reason. And Special Defense drop, which doesn't really matter, but he'll be taken out by another Psychic. And I'm pretty sure Kashif leaves this thing in for fodder, because he's all like, let's get rid of all my Victini counters, because I obviously can beat Victini, right? But he decides to Toxic now, instead of again going out to Roserade, or even Zapdos, or anything really. But Hitmontop dies. Boo-hoo. But now, I believe Zapdos can come out, and then just Thunderbolt his ass, and take out the Slowbro, or predict another switch, or do something weird. Kashif, I honestly don't understand you. I mean, I know you're weird and all, and I know you're more fucked up than most of us somehow, but seriously, what you doing? Anyways, Deoxys, again, can stall out Roserade to an extent, because Roserade really can't do much. But Kashif was like, I'm gonna set up more spikes, because I can probably kill off your Donphan, and then you can't spin, and then Victini will be in a tough situation, except probably not really. But switch out to Donphan here, and spikes are doing kind of a tolling. Double switches out to Gallade randomly, which I guess he was predicting maybe Victini so he can get a Shadow Sneak off. But that toxic damage racking up way too much. He goes for Psycho Cut though, or yeah, Psycho Cut, which didn't make any sense. Should have gone for Close Combat for a little bit of extra damage that wouldn't have really mattered. But Rapid Spin doesn't quite take out Gallade, but Toxic will take it out. So that's a dead Gallade and a living Donphan. Then again, why would it be dead? Had no reason to be dead yet. Spikes, Stealth Rock, Hazards. Late game hazards are so much fun, aren't they? But Donphan gonna try an Ice Shard after the rocks, because basically it looks like she has one more turn of toxic damage anyway, so might as well use it to go for the Ice Shard, since Victini should be able to easily clean up the rest of Kashif's team, because Kashif doesn't know what he's doing. So Victini comes in, Kashif has Zapdos and Roserade. I don't see a good situation right now. He decides to go into Zapdos, which he should have saved instead of this, because then he could have had a chance to outspeed. I don't know what type of Victini she was, but looking at Kashif's spread, he might have had some speed investment, which means he could have outsped possibly the next turn and taken her out. But he decides, let's just do this, and then let Roserade die. So Kashif kind of threw away his only chance at victory and loses like the loser he is, because Kashif is dumb. But anyways, that is it for that match. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. So, blah, 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 etc., etc. We're coming something later, guys.